The wind off Lake Michigan was ablaze the night I vanished. February 4:12 a.m., 34th floor of the Monadnock building. I was the only soul still burning fluorescent light, rerouting an entire container fleet that would have cost the company $43 million if I hadn't caught the corruption in the bill of lading timestamps. My phone lit up.
Dad.
I answered because I still confused muscle memory with love. "Kiddo, quick heads up," he said, voice syrupy with apology. "Your cousin's new money manager buddy is joining us in Santorini for Isabella's wedding. We bumped you to a studio Airbnb on the other side of the island. You'll love it. Volcano view, shared bathroom, only €42 a night." I had just wired $6,800, every cent of the bonus I earned by living in the office during the Ever Given crisis, so the entire family could fly premium economy to watch my sister marry a shipping heir. "My flight?" I asked, already knowing the answer.
Relax, Mia.
"You're the travel ninja. There's a Norwegian Air special, Chicago, Copenhagen, Athens, Santorini, for segments, 31 hours, basic economy. You'll make the toast." "Probably." The line crackled with Aegean static and 30 years of being the family's unpaid crisis concierge. I hung up, opened the bottom drawer, and took out the sealed envelope Great-Aunt Lucia had handed me the day before she died. "When they finish bleeding you, burn the bridge and salt the earth." Inside, access codes to a numbered account in Liechtenstein, $240,000, and a single post-it that read, "You deserve a life that doesn't require your martyrdom." I did not scream. I scheduled. 72 hours later. Immediate resignation delivered to my parasite of a boss, Grayson Holt. He actually laughed and reminded me about the 2-year global non-compete. Condo leased to a crypto couple for triple market rate, furniture included. Passport, birth certificate, and the Liechtenstein debit card in a new sling bag. One-way LATAM ticket to Medellin, Colombia. Grayson's non-compete forgot an entire hemisphere. Recurring monthly email drafted for the next 15 years. Still breathing. Still choosing myself. Stop searching. I shattered my iPhone against the terminal floor at O'Hare and boarded wearing noise-canceling headphones and an expression that made the gate agent step back. I became vapor. Back home, the dominoes fell in slow, exquisite motion. Dad discovered every brokerage account, every streaming service, every goddamned Nest thermostat now required authenticator codes routed to a dead Irish number. Mom opened a $214,000 tax lien because the CPA I used to babysit had never been given power of attorney. Isabella's Santorini wedding became a tragicomedy of wilted olive branches and missing shuttle buses because the shared Google sheet titled "MIA Fixes Everything" no longer had an owner. Meanwhile, in the coffee triangle of Colombia, I was puking my guts out from Giardia at 2,800 meters, negotiating with indigenous weavers for antique mochila patterns no fast fashion brand had ever touched. I built a vertically integrated brand out of a co-working hostel in Salento, shipping hand-dyed waya bags and emerald-dyed linen to Soho and Silver Lake. By month 15, the company, Palenque Threads, was doing 8 figures, and I hadn't spoken a single word to anyone who shared my DNA. Then Elena Marquez happened. Elena built Orion Freight from a single-used box truck into the third-largest woman-owned logistics firm on the continent. She found me because my containers were moving faster and cleaner than anyone else's in the port of Cartagena. She flew down herself, drank 3 Tinto coffees in a plastic chair outside my favorite panaderia, and offered me Chief Growth Officer, Orion HQ Chicago, $380,000 base equity. And a title that made Grayson Sphincter Titan from 3 countries away. I accepted on the spot. Start date, August 1st. I came home first class on my own dollar, hair sun-bleached, eyes Arctic. Grayson found out the day Orion snatched his largest fashion client. He did what cornered men do. He weaponized family. He located my baby sister Ava, 26, former TikTok star, freshly evicted after mom and dad finally froze the Venmo faucet. He slid into her DMs with a $20,000 Cash App and a promise of more if she could find anything showing I'd stolen client data. Ava, who once wrapped her leased BMW around a light pole doing 90 while live streaming and watched me liquidate $28,000 to keep her license, sold me out before her oat milk latte got cold. Grayson filed an emergency injunction plus a seven-figure trade secrets claim against me and Orion. Board summons. Monday, 9 a.m. I walked into the 42nd floor boardroom in a white suit sharp enough to perform surgery, carrying nothing but a single flash drive and the kind of calm that comes from no longer having anything left to lose. Grayson presented 43 pages of evidence. I presented an immutable blockchain ledger of every file access on the old company's servers, time-stamped and notarized by a Swiss firm. Every document he waived had been created 9 months after I left, on Grayson's own laptop, using admin credentials he thought he'd hidden. 15 minutes later, 2 FBI agents in windbreakers were escorting Grayson out for felony wire fraud and evidence tampering. I'd filed the SARS the day Elena's offer letter landed in my inbox. The board gave me a standing ovation and a new title, President, Emerging Markets. 3 months later, I invited what remained of my family to a private dinner at Smith, 3 Michelin stars, $895 a head before wine. I paid. They looked like they'd aged a decade. I laid out Ava's DUI file, the $28,000 I'd paid, the $20,000 she took from Grayson, the compounded interest. Then I dropped the bombshell. The lake house in Door County they'd lost to foreclosure? I bought it at auction.
Cash.
Title in the name of a trust they would never crack. You can still use it, I said, spinning the new keyring around one finger. Family traditions matter. But Ava is banned until every cent is repaid, and from now on Labor Day reservations go through my assistant. Ava sobbed into her napkin. Isabella, now 8 months pregnant, stared at her plate. Dad tried to reach for my hand. I let him grasp air. What do you want, Mia? Mom whispered. I stood, smoothing my skirt. I want the one thing you never gave me. The freedom to stop saving you. I left a stack of hundreds under my untouched dessert and walked into the October night. Exactly 2 years to the day after I disappeared, I was in the Polaris Lounge at O'Hare, boarding United's last direct to Tokyo Haneda in a lie-flat suite I paid for with my own equity check when the text arrived. Dad. Happy 32nd, kiddo. We were wrong about everything. Proud doesn't cover it. Once, that message would have shattered me.
Now it was just pixels on glass.
I typed. Appreciate it. Crazy day flying. Airplane mode. Champagne. Takeoff. Below me, the lights of Chicago blurred into a constellation I no longer needed to navigate by. I was 32, untethered, and for the first time in my life, flying first class because I damn well earned the seat. Some people are born free. The rest of us have to disappear to become it.